Hi guys, how's it going YouTube? I haven't done a talking head video in quite some time, but I decided to do a get ready with me. A, because a lot of people keep asking me what skincare products I use for my face, and B, because there's just some things that I want to talk about. So we're going to talk about them. And this first product I'm putting on my face is the Milano CC serum stuff. Is it a serum or a cream? I'm not sure. But this is what it looks like. Milano CC. This stuff is amazing. It's really good for helping with hyperpigmentation or acne scarring. Is that Suki? Yeah, there's Suki in the background. If you see a white cloud floating around my apartment, it's just my cat. Today we're going to be talking about a serious topic that a lot of foreigners, I don't even think it's just foreigners in Japan that go through this kind of phase, but because I'm a foreigner and I live in Japan and I was watching a YouTuber's video about this, kind of inspired me to talk about it, which is, should I leave? Should I leave Japan? You know, is it time? Is it time to leave Japan? Has my time in Japan run its course? And I get asked this question a lot, whether I want to live in Japan forever or not. And I can never outright answer the question because I don't know. You know, it's like nobody can predict the future. Who knows what would happen? I don't have to stay in Japan. It's not somewhere that I'm like, I want to be here for the rest of my life. I have to stay here. Like, if anything happens, I'm out. You know, if my mental health is not where it should be, I'm out. If I feel like the cons start outweighing the pros, I'm out. Right now, the pros are outweighing the cons in Japan. And there are a few cons. But I would say for now, the pros outweigh the cons. So, you know, it's kind of like, why would I leave? You know, why would I leave? Anyway, with the Milano CC, all my products for my skincare, I like to press them into my skin, which is why you see me beating my face. So now we're going to go in with one of my favorite skincare products. It is the Tear. Can you focus? The Tear Milk Toner. So I personally like to have a juicy face, and this is one of the products that help with the juiciness. It literally is like milk. It's a little bit runny like milk. It's got a milk texture. This is such a good product. I love it so much. So we're going to put a little bit on the hands there. And put it all over your face. But anyway, I was watching Ryan Krause. He is the inspiration for this video. I was watching his latest video. If you don't know who that is, he is a very well-known YouTuber, content creator, and influencer in Japan. He has over 1 million on TikTok. He's got a decent amount on Instagram, and he basically just makes lifestyle content in Japan. And he's been here for, he said 3 years, which is around the time that I've been here. I've been here for, it'll be 4 years in August. So we've kind of both been here around the same time. And I think we both kind of started our influencer careers around the same time too, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, he made a video saying that he's leaving Japan and he's going to move to a different country. And we don't know what country that is. But basically, he said he's leaving for several reasons. One of them is because he doesn't feel a sense of belonging in Japan, which, relatable. I'm sure pretty much all, you know, foreign expats, foreign residents in Japan will tell you they feel the same way. There is really no sense of true belonging. Like, there's times where I'm like, I feel so called to Japan, and I do feel called to Japan. I still don't feel like there's a sense of belonging, though, right? You're still very much othered in this country. Japan is not a melting pot, you know? It's not like America. It's not like home, where I felt like I belonged in America, you know? I had people who looked like me. I had people who spoke the same language. I never felt othered, even though America's a shitty ass country, as, you know, we're all seeing right now. I still felt like I belonged in America, but in Japan, I don't feel that way. I also don't feel like there's a big sense of community amongst the foreign population. I will say that's just a me thing though. And the thing is, I have friends, right? But I feel like there's a difference between having a couple friends versus a community. I don't have a community. I have 2 friends that I know I can call on at any time, any day, and they got my back, and vice versa. But as far as having a community in Japan, I don't have that yet. But I also have been here for almost 4 years. So it's like, when am I going to get that? Who knows? My next product is literally almost out. I need to get more. It is called the Premium Goku June Serum. It's like a serum. But yeah, it comes out a little on the thicker side. And I just put that on the face. I use a lot of products. Told y'all, your girl likes a juicy face. Juicy face. But anyway, that's kind of the issue that he is having. And he feels like Japan right now is just not doing it for him. He was living in Tokyo. He said that Tokyo is just not it. He's not happy in Tokyo. And you know what? There's a lot of foreigners in Japan who don't want to be in Japan, who are miserable in Japan, and want to leave. And there's some of them who can't leave because they're not making enough money. They can't make enough money to save money to leave. Some of them are stuck. Some of them are stuck because of marriages. Some of them are stuck because of children, because of their job, whatever the reason. So even though Japan might seem like this perfect anime wonderland, there's a lot of issues here. And there's a lot of people who are not happy here. And I'm talking about Ryan in particular because I personally don't feel the need to leave anytime soon. I'm pretty sure I turn off this fucking air conditioning. What are you doing? Electricity is too high right now. I do not need you on. Yeah, I don't feel the need to leave anytime soon because life is pretty good for me at the moment. But for someone like Ryan, who built a whole platform off of living in Japan, for him to admit, not only to himself, but to us, like, hey, you know what? I'm leaving because I'm not happy. I'm really proud of him for that. And it takes a lot, you know, because so many people think Japan is perfect. Of course, they'd be like, well, why are you leaving? What? Japan is awesome. It's a utopia. Why would you leave a place like Japan, especially with, you know, the huge amount of followers that you've built up? But putting the followers to the side, you have to think of your mental health. Again, there's a lot of people who become jaded because they've been in Japan for so long. There's really no opportunity to grow in Japan if you're an English teacher, right? And I mean English teacher like ALT. A lot of foreigners that come to Japan do not speak English, do not read, write anything Japanese. I said do not speak English. A lot of foreigners in Japan do not speak Japanese or read or write Japanese. And the only job that they can really get is English teaching. Specifically ALT work, because there are English teachers I know who work at like universities and are legit English teachers with a education background, stuff like that. But most of them are not legitimate English teachers. They are ALTs. They are assistant language teachers, right? And those type of jobs, and I'm only speaking from experience because I used to be an ALT, those are not long-term careers. They are not careers, okay? An assistant language teacher is not a career. You are not going to be making good money. There is no room to grow. I know people who have been teaching English in Japan as an ALT for like 15, 20 years and are still ALTs and still making, you know, shitty wages with shitty benefits, having a shitty job where there's power harassment and microaggression and racism. This last product, by the way, is also the Milano CC, but it is a lotion. And as you can see, the face is hella juicy. Juicy just the way I like it. But that's the reality. That's the reality a lot of people are going through. And a lot of foreign expats, foreign residents, you get to a point where you're like, should I leave? Should I leave? Because I'm not advancing in my job. I'm tired of teaching English to these badass kids and not making any money to show for it. I can't save money. It's damn near impossible for me to be able to even go on vacation or visit my family. Also, the yen is weak. And you're making yen and you want to travel home or you want to move home, it's going to cost almost twice as much because the yen is so weak. The economy is so bad in Japan, right? And these are just like, I hate to burst anyone's, perfect Japan bubble, but this is the reality, right? A lot of people think, should I leave? Because work is not working the way that I want it to. I'm not making any money. There's a lot of women here. For example, my friend, she's considering leaving. One of my good friends, she's considering leaving. She's still young. She's almost 25, but she wants to have kids. Clock is ticking. She's on a biological clock. I personally don't want kids. I don't care about that. She wants kids. And her family is like trying to convince her to move to Canada to find a man, because dating in Japan is so bad. It's bad all around the world, but dating in Japan as a woman of color, you know what I mean, is definitely not as easy. And so she's like, dude, I want to find a man. You know what I mean? I want a mate. And, dating is really hard over here. So like, I'm considering leaving because I want to have a better chance at finding a husband. Now, I've had my moments. It doesn't happen often, but definitely when I was English teaching, I had more moments of, should I be looking at other options? Like, should I leave Japan? It's been fun, but like, dating is shit. My shitty ALT work is not paying me enough. And yeah, the community that I want, I don't have it. I don't have a sense of belonging. So I'll always be an other. I will never be accepted by these people. And that's fine. That's totally fine. I don't care. But I'm just saying that was my mindset when I was like, should I leave? Like, Japan is not the only country in the world that I have interest in living, which is why I said before, I have no problem leaving Japan if I ever feel like I need to. I will not let my pride get the best of me. If I have to leave, even though I built up this big platform on Instagram and TikTok, and even though I get paid, my job is to create content and, freelance and all that stuff. Now it's that way now, but back then I was considering leaving because I'm like, this isn't what I want for my life. Okay. So my face gets really hot after I put on 15 layers of skincare. So I have this little fan. It's a little dirty, so I don't want to show y'all, but I'm going to cool my face down. But yeah, that's the reality. And I just wanted to talk about that really quick because I'm proud of Ryan for making the decision that's best for him. And, at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you. Don't feel like you have to stay somewhere. And this applies to anyone, anywhere in the world. It's not just Japan. This applies to anyone. Do not feel like you have to stay somewhere because of X, Y, and Z. Like, it's your life. And that's the beauty of being single and childless. Even if you're not single and childless, you still need to do what's right for your mental health. Your mind is so powerful. I'm such a mental health advocate. So it's like, when I see people suffering, it makes me sad. It really does. Don't suffer. Life is too short to suffer. Do what's best for you. Move where you're wanted, where you're loved, where you feel like you will have the best life for yourself. I'm loved in Japan. Like I said, I have 2 really good friends and I'm building stronger friendships and bonds with other people. I've got a good job. I am a freelancer, so I no longer work for any type of private company or whatever. I work for myself. I set my own schedule. I have my own clients. It's not easy to get that kind of job. I feel like Ryan was also a freelancer. I believe he had the entertainer visa. Having that kind of visa A is extremely difficult to get. So kudos to him. But as a freelancer as well, it's not easy to be a freelancer, right? To transition from English teacher to freelancer like I did is rare. It is rare to have a freelancer job in Japan in general, right? So I am technically a freelancer, but I'm also an influencer and content creator. But of course, Japan doesn't acknowledge influencer as a job. So that's why it's technically the freelancer. But that's the only reason why my life is more palatable for me, because I work for myself. I make my own money. If I was an ALT, I would not be in Japan for that much longer. This might have been my last year in Japan if I was still an ALT. Because again, the money and the benefits are not worth it, in my opinion. It's a short-term thing to come here, to enjoy yourself for a little bit, see Japan, see what it's like to live here, make memories, and then go find a real job. You know, find a real career. But that's a whole nother thing. Anyway, I've yapped for quite some time. I keep looking at my phone because I have to leave in like 15 minutes. So anyway, I hope to make more sit down videos like this. If there's more topics you guys want me to discuss, let me know. I know a lot of people ask, how do I move to Japan? Maybe I'll start a series on that. Even though I always say Google is your biggest resource. No shade, but it really is. Like, if you have questions, Google and Chat GPT. Y'all are sleeping on Chat GPT. I use that for a lot of stuff. So anyway, that's it for today. I kind of want to start calling my audience and supporters bento baddies. Do you guys like that? If you made it this far to the end of this video, shout out to you. If you haven't subscribed already, please do like this video. Give this video a like. Samurai, slice that like button because it helps me a lot in the algorithm, apparently. But yeah, I kind of want to call my followers bento baddies. Let me know if you guys like that. I think it's really cute. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next video. Johnny!